And good morning to you. It's Thursday the 7th of... Is it the 7th or the 8th? Oh, hang on a minute. Is it the 7th or the 8th? 7th. Thursday the... Who knows what date it is. It's Thursday the 7th of December 2017. Welcome along to this morning's United Kingdom Talk. We're from the chair this morning. We're from the chair today. I've put a light behind it and one in front. I think that looks quite nice like that, don't you? It is more of a sort of nighttime atmosphere though, isn't it? It feels like, you know, it should be like 2 o'clock in the morning while I'm sitting down here, because we usually do the shows at night time from down here, although we haven't got the video calling or the phone call set up this morning. All right, my boys and girls. All right, let's just have a little look at who's with us early today. Who's first in with a message this morning was the delightful Kim Whip. Will I be seeing you at some point at Christmas, Kim? Up there in Lincolnshire. Good morning, Kim. Pete Branch is there in Brazil. Good morning, Pete. It's Hayley's birthday today. Oh, is it? Okay, well, we'll do the birthdays at the end. Happy birthday, Hayley. I shall be singing a little bit later on. Adam the plumber, good morning. Mr. Ray Reynolds is there. Morning, Ray. And Sarah Lulay says, good morning from Devon. Freezing my norks off. Is it cold down there? Is it cold down in Devon at the moment? I have to say, last night, I got home from work last night. Very, very windy. And according to the weather thing, the wind was supposed to be up in Scotland, wasn't it? Not down here, but extremely windy when I got in last night. The old trees were going like this. I'm surrounded here by beautiful pine trees outside. You never see them go over. Very, very rarely do they go over, but they kind of bend right over like that. You know, windy city is happening. Isn't it? Hey, good morning to Chris. Chris Manzar, good morning, sir. I haven't seen you for a while on here. I think I was looking through your little Facebook yesterday, actually, seeing what you've been up to. Okay, good morning to Mark. Not a new studio. No, I'm just in the living room, actually, Mark. This is where... Have you not been with us for the nighttime shows before, Mark? We do them from down here. I've got to tell you, this was on the floor this morning. This had fallen off the wall. It's only held up with double-sided tape. There's a little lamp behind me down there as well, and a light right in front of me, so that's what that is. I haven't got an awful lot to tell you this morning, although I've picked up a few news stories that I'd like to read out to you. All right, that's coming up a little bit later. So, the quiz last night, well, 2 hours and 5 minutes to get to work last night. Oh, gosh. Such a long journey, but, you know, you kind of get used to it now. I'm used to sitting in the car for 2 hours, desperately trying to get to work. I got there and it was already quite busy last night. We started with 7 teams last night, of which 3 dropped. Was it 3 or 4 dropped out? I think, no, 2 or 3 of them dropped out. Anyway, we started with 7 teams last night, which was good. And there were about 1, 2, 3, 4 of those teams were actually large teams. So that's a good night. But for some reason last night, I felt incredibly uncomfortable in there last night. I don't know what it was. I just felt uncomfortable. You know, you can be don't know about this in here tonight. Do you know what I mean? Usually I'm in there bouncing away and feeling fine. And don't get me wrong, plenty of friends in there. Yeah, Ray Reynolds' team was in there last night. Yes, flying their ever-winning flag, but not last night, unfortunately. Oh dear. After the end, I think we finished with 4 teams. Yeah, it was 4 teams, because we got the bag of crisps, and Ray Reynolds' team, unfortunately, were 3rd, and there's no prize for 3rd place. No prize. Second prize is a bottle of wine. First prize is is it 25 or 30 pound bar tab? One of the two. Can't remember what it was now. Which were won by a group of boys actually sitting right next to the stage. Although that's no advantage, you know. It's not like there's questions and answers left out all over the stage or anything like that. So we did the quiz, and then I announced the results. And Peter, who's a lovely chap, I went with him to the BBC Radio London Summer Night Out with Tony Blackburn a couple of weeks ago. You remember that at Coco's bar where we did the video there. And he was in the team there. And I was reading the results out, and I think the short planks, I think, lost last night. I might have this completely the wrong way round. Let me think. I think it was the short planks. No, they weren't at the bottom, but the bottom 3 had left. They knew they hadn't done too well. Oh dear to me. There's no shame in coming last. I really don't think there is. You know, it's not like for me. It's not like the winning of it that matters. It's the being there and being part of the whole thing. You know, and enjoying yourself. Nevertheless, because they dropped out, the prizes move up, you see, defaulting to whoever's in there last. And last night, unfortunately, the short planks came last, I think with 22 points. That's out of 50. So that's quite a low score for them. They used to win week in, week out. It's funny how things change like that, really, isn't it? And in third place were Ray Reynolds' team with 35. Then the next position was 36. And the next position, and the first position was 37. So there's only 2 points, 2 points between it. Anyway, Pete from Hospital Radio Basildon, for some reason he thought he heard me say that they'd got 35, and then the top team, the winning team, had got 35 as well. He came running over, worried that he'd missed out on something. I said, no, Pete, I didn't say that. Not paying attention, dear. Pay full attention at all times. He was terrified he was losing out on a bottle of wine last night. Did you see him, Ray? Running over, dear. I thought the man was going to have a heart attack. I called 999 quickly for ambulances to be standing by. Good old Pete. So they were in there last night. But and even it didn't, for me, I don't know why, but even by the end of the night, I still felt incredibly uncomfortable in there last night. Isn't that strange? Seemed to be a last night. I don't know how you felt there, Ray. Did it feel all right to you? Let's have a look here. Good morning to Mark, who wants to know, what was the music round? The music round last night was, one moment please, titles beginning with the letter, might have been L. So the music round, let me tell you, the music round is different every week. It could be 1960s, could be 2010s, could be artists beginning with the letter A, titles beginning with the letter O, could be classical, could be anything, could be pop music, cheese. Every week I do a different music round. I think last night was titles beginning with the letter L. I think it was L. Might have been something else. It doesn't matter. So say it was L. So that means the 10 songs that I play them all begin with the letter L in the title. So it could be Wham! Last Christmas, or The Kinks, Layla. Just 2 examples there for you. I didn't incidentally have either of those songs in the thing. It might not be now, but it doesn't matter. And I get them to ignore the word the. So obviously for Layla, Kinks, I mean the correct title is The Kinks, but you ignore the word there. So I think that was the music round last night, Mark. The next 2 music rounds over the next 2 weeks will be Christmas. In fact, the whole quiz is all about Christmas next week and the week after. So I think one of the weeks one of the weeks it'll be Christmas songs, and the other week it will be Christmas carols. And they simply have to name the songs or the carols. On the carols one, there's no artist. It's just 1 point, I don't know. Hark the Herald Angels Sing, Silent Night, Holy, and all that. All right? And all the other rounds will be Christmas as well. So that's coming up in the next 2 weeks. And if you want to join us and make me feel a bit more comfortable next week, you can do so. Our quiz is at the King's Head Theatre Bar in Upper Street in Islington. It's a wonderful, wonderful place, steeped in character and generally nice people in there. I'm not saying there's anyone nasty in there. That's not what I'm saying. I just felt uncomfortable in there last night for some reason. I don't know why. And I've not felt that in there before. Strange. So next Wednesday, of course, 8:30 at the King's Head Theatre Bar in Upper Street, Islington. And hopefully see some of you down there again. Chris says, do you write all the questions or do you get them? I get them. I buy them in from somewhere. I use several different companies. You don't want to use the same company as you're doing a quiz night, because people could get to know that and then they buy the quiz in for whatever it is and then win the prize. So you've got to be very careful of that. You rotate where you buy the questions from. Good morning to Jeannie D is there. Good morning, Jeannie D. You all right, darling? Ray Reynolds, Lola. Da-da-da, Lola. Not Lola Lasagna, is it, darling? Is she with us as well this morning? I doubt that. Mark's going to pop down. Good. Come down on one of the next 2 weeks, Mark. Christmas songs. I'm sure the scoring will be very high for those. Okay. The Kinks, Lola. Ah, yes. The Kinks, Lola. Lola. Eric Captain Layla. Thank you very much for your corrections there. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Good morning to little Chris. Are you at work this morning? Are you bored again, Chris? Chris spends most of his life in boredom, don't you, darling? You do, sweetheart. I know you do, love. Okay, what's the picture like today, boys and girls? Because we're just, as I say, there's nothing connected in here. We're coming off an iPhone today. That's all it is. With various, I can do lots of things with this. I've got a little thing on the side of it. I can change the picture. You know, you can have a little Union Jack there. Look at that. Or I can run a film or do anything on that. It's very clever indeed. You just touch the screen and something else appears as if by magic. Isn't that strange and mysterious? So that was a quiz last night. Got home all right. I was talking actually to Ray, and who was the other one talking to me about this? I think it was Paul, actually. It was Paul. Because I said to you, after my last 3 afternoon teas, which have included a glass of champagne, okay, now this doesn't happen immediately, but a few hours afterwards, I feel a bit, like that. And there could be any reason for that. I have no doubt in my mind there's anything wrong with the food. There's nothing wrong with the food, because this keeps happening. And it can only be one of several things. Could it be the one glass of champagne? Because I don't drink, you see. It's so rare that any alcohol passes through these pretty little boy lips of mine. So it could be that. Someone else said, Ray said, it might be because you're just you're stuffing yourself. Well, I don't think it's that, because when you stuff yourself, you're like, I can't move. Well, it's not. I'm not like that. I'll probably have 3 sandwiches, 2 scones, and 4 very small cakes, and they are small. You know, this is not like the cake that you people out there cut for yourselves at home, like that. It's more like one of non-Irish Mary's slices from the birthday cake she does. It's so thin, it's unbelievable. They're only 4 little cakes, so I don't think it's eating too much. I really don't. And Ray's convinced that I've eaten too much. I don't think it's that. I really don't. But Paul said he thinks it's the combination of... and Peter said it could be the cream has gone off, because it does go off very quickly. I doubt that, because it keeps happening. It keeps happening all the time, and it's like a really posh hotel as well. So I don't think it's that either. I've no doubt there's nothing wrong with the food. I'm sure there's nothing wrong with the food. But Paul, who was sitting next to Ray, Paul's an entertainer. He does drag shows, otherwise known as Victoria Sponge. You can look him up on my Facebook thing if you want. It's Paul Stone. I don't know if there's any pictures of him in his outfits and all that. But Paul says he thinks it might be a combination of the cream on the scones and in some of the cakes, and the champagne together, which are not very good together. So I'm going to take that on board, and next time I'll knock out the champagne, which I don't think poor old Chris, who's with us this morning, who's permanently bored, I don't think you'd be able to do that, would you, Chris? You wouldn't be able to knock out the cream. The champagne. You poor old Chris, he likes to have a little drink, don't you, darling? So next time I have the afternoon tea, I'm going to knock out the champagne. I'll have Coke. Oh, and the other thing we have an enormous amount of tea when we're there, and it's strong. It's very, very strong tea. Not your economy tea bags from Tesco's, dear. Why do you even bother trying to have a cup of tea with one of those? Do not buy economy tea bags. You've got to put about half a box of the tea bags in the cup to get any flavour, haven't you? God blimey. No. This is strong tea that we have there. And we had about 4 pots of this stuff. So it could be that as well. You know, too much caffeine in the tea. Not quite sure what's causing it. But next time I'll have everything I normally have, but without the glass of champagne, which incidentally will save me about 15 quid anyway. You know how much a glass of champagne is. And I'll report back to you. I think we've got an afternoon tea in January. Might try and fit one in before then. I've got my eye on one in a really posh one in London. Really posh one. And you're only ever going to do this one once. But I've got my eye on that, and I might try and fit that in before the end of the year. Although things are tight now. Things are very, very tight with time now. I've got two, not tonight, but I've got 2 Thursday karaokes. And then it's like Christmas. You know, so things are a bit tight with time now. Let's have a look there. All right, Chris. Morning to Mike Contini. Is it Contini? Good morning, Mike. Welcome to our show. Thank you, Chris. The picture's great. Very not very pick. What does that mean, Adam? Very not very pick. That is like is that like a quiz? Are you doing your own quiz now? We have to guess what that is. Adam's moving soon. Sod that. Oh dear. That is so stressful moving. Even if you've got just a few bits and pieces. I never forget the time I moved here to Bracknell, which was been 1992, I think it was. Were you born then, Chris? 1992? And I came from a 1-bedroomed flat into a 3-bedroomed house. But we had this van and it was absolutely chock-a-block with stuff. I don't know where from this little 1-bedroom flat, but where's all this stuff come? It was in your flat. I think we had to leave some cupboards behind in the end. We just couldn't get them in the van. My car was full up, the van was full up, and we moved here. And I said, well, we'll all go out at night, you know, to celebrate the fact that we were in a new place and all that business. And, of course, that didn't happen. By 9 o'clock, we're still moving the stuff in, and we'd left at, 9 o'clock in the morning. What a stressful day that is, Adam. Thank you, Jeannie D. Picture's okay. Good morning, Richard Leedham. Good morning, Richard. How was your birthday? Did you have a nice birthday? I can't remember how old you were now. Did you have a good birthday? Did you do anything with either friends or family or something like that, Richard? Hope you had a nice birthday, sir. Thames picture back to front. No, it's not back to front. Oh, is it? Oh, hang on a minute. Oh, I didn't do the... Did I not do the settings? Hang on a minute. Is that back to front? Oh, it is, isn't it? Oh, we're back to front again. I forgot to do the settings. Sorry. Forgot to do... Does it matter? Do you want to... I don't know if I can do it now. Do you want me to have a look? Oh, actually, I don't know if I can do it with this thing. Let's... What's this do here? Just a minute now. Can I do it with this? What's that do? Oh, no. I'll try all these different things along here. No, they're just filters, aren't they? Filters... What are they? Distortions. What's a distortion? I don't know what that is. Oh, look! Oh, don't shoot me! Don't shoot! No. Oh, Christ. No, that's there's nothing there, is there? Oh, I can't do it with this program. Oh, we could do it with the other one, couldn't we? Oh, settings. Hang on. Settings. Transitions, output resolution, sources, outputs. Is it outputs? No, not that one. Not that one. No, I can't do it, I'm afraid. Sorry, can't do that. You'll have to put up with it back to front today. Oh, it doesn't matter anyway. Christ. Ray Reynolds will be doing his nut now. He hates it when everything's back to front. He just can't cope, can you, Ray? Can't cope, love. Look at me through a mirror. It'll work then. Have you got a mirror in your house? Don't look at it too much, Ray. You know what happens to mirrors when you look through them, my darling. Okay? Thank you, Ray. Moving is the worst. Pay movers. Yes, Chris, I highly recommend it. If I ever move from here, I'd certainly pay a removal firm to come and do it for me. Oh, they know exactly what they do, don't they? I'm a great believer in paying someone to do a job that you think you can do, and then more likely you muck it up, like painting and decorating. Don't ask me to do that. There'd be little speckles. How did they do that with those rollers? They roll up, whole room painted, not a single speck anywhere on the floor or furniture. How do they do that? Me? It's pouring down like blooming rain. Like little snowflakes dropping down on me. It's awful. Oh, I can't be doing painting. Ray Reynolds is doing painting at the moment, I think, aren't you? Are you doing painting at the moment, Ray, or have you finished that? I think he's doing his kitchen or something like that. I know you're moving, Adam. I just told him that. Did you miss part of the show, love? Adam was on that bloody iPhone 7 again last night, or 6 on the phone to me. In and out it was going. Couldn't hear a damn word he was saying. Dear me. A crowdfunding, Adam. Adam wants a crowdfunding to help him move. No! Only for charities, dear. That's the thing with those crowdfunding. You need to be careful of some of those. There's a crowdfunding. What's the other one? I don't think the crowdfunding is the charity one, or is it? It might be. Not sure. But there's a charity one, GoFundMe.com or something like that. And there's a lot on there. Be very, very careful who you donate to, because there's a lot of... I could set one up, for sick cats in Austria or something like that. Please help these sick cats in Austria. And you just shove up a few pictures of cats that aren't well, maybe one leg, 2 legs missing, an eye or something like that. How do you want to help? And word it nicely, This cat will have to be put down unless we can raise £20,000 to help it. And then you put it up and people start sending money. Well, how do you know it's for the cats? You don't. You absolutely don't. And even doing this show, I often joke about you being a worldwide phenomenon with millions of viewers and things like that. But in truth, we might get a couple of thousand if we're lucky. Yeah, sometimes we get a couple of thousand people throughout the live and recorded. Many more people watch the recording than watch it live. But nevertheless, a couple of thousand people. And I have had, on occasion, people asking me, oh, could you read this out for me? I'm starting a charity thing, Could you read this out? And I don't do that. I don't do that not because I think you're lying, but you could be. And I don't know you personally. I don't know you, apart from Adam there, of course. Adam I've known for years. If he set up a charity thing, then I'm sure it will all be legitimate and all that. But I probably wouldn't read it out because it's, it has to be the same for everyone. Otherwise, you're giving that person favouritism. A little bit like at the karaoke. You've got to be so careful that you don't pull up the same person all the time, including for duets and trios. So you might have a song in to sing at the karaoke, and then you put in a duet with someone else. And the one person will sing, that a couple of people might sing, and they come up, oh, you haven't put my duet on, and you've got to wait for it to come round again. Oh, yeah, but he hasn't sung yet. Yes, but you have. And it looks like I'm giving you preferential treatment. And let me tell you, if it looks like you're giving someone preferential treatment at a karaoke, all hell breaks loose. From people you wouldn't expect it to. Generally people who are, all right, Chris, how's it going? And all this business. Yeah, oh, nice. The moment it looks like they're up there, mate. He's already been on. And they can get really nasty. Really nasty. So you've got to be very, very careful giving everyone exactly the same stage space as everyone else. Now and again, I make a mistake. We all do. I said, he's already been on. I'm really sorry, I made a mistake. And some people won't accept that apology. They go on. One bloke went mad in the Golden Lion. He went absolutely mad. Shouting and screaming at me. For Christ's sake. It's only someone accidentally and it was an old lady as well. There were 3 of them sitting there as a group. And they all come up and go, oh, they've already been on. And I thought, oh, just do it. And, of course, he came straight over. Well, I thought it was going to hit me, dear. Hit me, dear. Oh, it was ridiculous. It's not like you go in NHS and have the wrong leg cut off, is it? Dear me. Right. Have a good day with the family. Oh, it was your 50th birthday. Oh, well done. Richard, 50's all right. Are you happy now you've gone over that age? You are, aren't you? You see? Come on, you wouldn't want to be a teenager again. All that hassle. Falling in love. Do you remember falling in love with your as a teenager? Huh? Do you remember that? And then when it all went wrong, once, twice, 3 times maybe? Oh, it's the end of the world, isn't it? Terrible time being a teenager. It really is. Chris, there can be a lot of people in the queue waiting to be called up to karaoke. Yes, there can be. If you've got if you're at a karaoke night and there's 26 singers, for example, that's a lot. A lot. Ideal number of singers at a karaoke? Probably about 17. Probably around about 17. Anything above 20, you start waiting a long time. But you see, if there's like 26 people in the queue, right? So you sing, if you've got another song in, you've then got to wait 26 people to sing again. And people ask to be pushed up the queue. Again, people that you know that you wouldn't expect to say it. Oh, just push them up the queue just once. No. What about everyone else? They don't care about anyone else. They just think about themselves all the time. Or they think it's me. They think it's me purposely not putting them on because I don't like them. Honestly, you wouldn't believe it. I never forget once a lovely lady I used to work with, Vicky Pearson, when we was in Belushi's in Hammersmith, and on a couple of occasions she came and sat next to me while I was doing the karaoke. She was my boss. And at the end of the night she says, how do you deal with this? She said, these people are just so rude. That's just how it is. I want all the blooming time, isn't it? Good. Let's have a look here. So got in last night. Got in last night. Watched a little bit of the jungle thing. Boris Johnson's dad's just been out. What's his name? Is it Trevor? Can't remember his name now. Nice old bloke he was. Yeah, he's gone out of the jungle. Nothing much to write home about there. Little bit of rowing going on, but it's kind of lost the flow with me. I'm not really watching that anymore. They were all eating some nasty bird thing. I think it was some sort of blackbird that were all eating, and they were all complaining. They'd won this blackbird thing to eat, and they would all try and chew it. It was all bone. There was nothing on it. No vegetarian dishes. I noticed that. Rice and beans. That's all I'd be able to eat if I was there. Rice and beans. You know. I wouldn't want any of that nasty dead animal stuff. This morning, I woke up at 7 o'clock in the morning. And I thought, and my mouth was really dry this morning for some reason. So I thought about it for about 15 minutes. Then I got up 7:15 in the morning. I made myself a cup of tea. It was quite dark outside. Put the television on. Watched a little bit. Watched the end of the jungle thing. Then I went to bed and woke up at half past 9. Had some breakfast, and here I am chatting to you this morning. All right, so that was my day really today. Today I'm going to Hamleys in London. We're going on a little trip to London today to finish off the Christmas shopping. I'm driving in today, taking my mate Ron. He's got a disabled badge because he's got all sorts of bits and pieces wrong with him, but I'll be doing the driving. Usually he does the driving, but he's not been too well recently. He keeps getting his chest infection, which won't go away for some reason, and he keeps being hit down with it. So I'll be doing the driving this morning, or this afternoon. I think we're going to leave here around about 1 o'clock, something like that, and find somewhere to park. It'll be an effort. It will be an effort driving into London today, but we only do this once a year. The rest of the time, generally, if I've got to go to London for something, I'll take a train. But it's a bit too much of an effort for him to get on the train or anything. Good morning, Tracy. Morning, Tracy. My niece is with us, and we're live in the Hair Lounge this morning. You're wondering what the Hair Lounge is? The Hair Lounge is my niece's very own hairdressers in a lovely little village called Woodhall Spa, where she lives. That's where I'll be spending my Christmas. When Christmas happens, Ron loves it. My mate loves it. He moves in here. Ronnie moves in here because this is like the big house. He's got the small house. I've got the big house. So he moves in here with his other half, and they live it up. Oh, God, I can't imagine the mess in here by the time I get back from my short haul holiday up in Woodhall Spa. Isn't it? Anyway, I've had my hair cut, niece. Do you like it? Good morning to everyone who's watching and listening to me in the Hair Lounge this morning. Now, those of you listening, can you turn me up a bit, niece? Just turn me up a bit. Have you done it yet? What about now? Now, turn it up. Come on, turn me up. Is it up now? Good. Those of you watching in the Hair Lounge, can I just remind you that my niece does a very, very hard job, and she's very, very tired at all times, and she's on minimal wages, and it is Christmas. Yes, it is Christmas. Now, she would never dream of asking for any gifts or any tips or anything like that, and I'm not asking either, but I'm just reminding you, you're about to have your hair cut. It's hard work. She'll be very tired, and it is Christmas. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. All right? Oh, dear. Right, can I read you out a couple of stories that I've collected? You don't want to go on a Russian plane. Right, here we go. You don't want to go on a Russian plane. A picture in The Sun this morning, boys and girls. Terrifying moment. A window popped out of a mid-flight packed Russian S-7 airliner jet. I kid you not. There's a video to go with this as well if you want to have a look on the Sun website. The Sun website, didn't they used to charge for that? I seem to remember that they started charging to use how do you say that? To use their paper on the internet, to use the online Sun. I'm sure they were charging for that for a while, but it's become free again. My guess, people don't want to pay for anything, do they? The youngsters don't pay for any music, you know. They all download it illegally. There's me with me £4.99 Spotify account. They don't even have one of those. Oh, it's free. It's free. Everything's free. Free. Those bleeding idiots who are all voting for Jeremy Corbyn, they actually think that all their debts are going to be wiped out if they vote for Labour. You know that, don't you? They actually believe that all their debts, if Labour come into power, will be wiped out by the Labour Party. I can't see that happening. I honestly can't see that happening. And that's not telling you to vote one way. You can vote who you like for. I couldn't care less. But I can't believe that can possibly happen. How much would that cost? Where's that money going to come from? Anyway, let's go in The Sun this morning. It says, as I say, there is a video to go with this on the Sun website. This is the alarming moment a window on an aeroplane comes loose and stayed open for the entire 2-hour-long flight. Well, quite honestly, I mean, I've been on planes before. Don't it get hot? Oh, God, don't it get hot on a plane? The horrified passenger, unlucky enough to be sitting in the window seat, vowed never again to travel by aeroplane in Russia after his terrifying experience. Oh, you can't blame the Russians. Just a little error in their ways, dear. Look, gaffer tape. That's what they should. All passengers on Russian planes need to be issued with a roll of gaffer tape. Let me tell you, it fixes everything. Gaffer tape fixes everything without fail. Wonderful stuff. I've got guttering here, right, that about 5 years ago, I noticed some drips coming out of the joins. Now, the idea is you take your rubber bits out between the joins, replace them. I couldn't be bothered to go to the shop. I went up there, cleaned the dirt, the debris. I like that word, debris. Cleaned the debris off, and gaffer tape. Works 5 years ago, still not dripping. Perfectly good. I think they use it in operating theatres, don't they? Gaffer tape. You know, someone goes on there with an arm hanging off like that, bit of gaffer tape round there. My niece's daughter, Emily. Now, unfortunately, she suffers with having her arms pulled out of their sockets. I can't remember what there's a word for that. Dismembered? No. That's when you cut them off. Dislodged. Anyway, if you pick her up, you can dislodge her arm. It's happened, I think, 2 or 3 times now. Gaffer tape. I shall give my niece some gaffer tape for Christmas. That'll sort it out. The story goes on. In this shocking footage, which is on the website, the window can be seen gaping wide open into the cold Russian night throughout the flight from Moscow to Krasnodar, a city in the south of Russia. After recording his experience, the passenger contacted the Sun online with his tale, but did not wish to be named. Why not? Could have got some money for that, dear. As soon as I sat in my seat, I saw it. What? And you didn't think to tell anyone? How stupid are you? If I was on a plane and there was a window half hanging off, wouldn't you think to tell someone? What an idiot. And no, he'd write to the Sun instead. See if he can get some money for it. Much more important. Excuse me, there's a window hanging off here. No, didn't think to tell anyone, according to this. Just before I took off, I looked outside and noticed something was wrong. The window was shaking quite a lot. I shake quite a lot as well. It's called Parkinson's. It's not funny. I spent the whole night holding onto the window. The whole flight holding onto the window. I feel like this plane has more years than me, he added. Bizarrely, other passengers seemed not to notice the issue with the aircraft, and staff allegedly didn't address the issue due to the language barrier. Oh, for Christ's sake, what do you mean language barrier? All you got to do is point at the bloody window, you idiot. I think he just wants a little bit of spotlight, don't you? I'm not even going to read the rest of that story. No spotlight from me, thank you very much. How can you not be able to tell someone that the wind... shake, shake, shake. Surely you could have done that. Stupid people, honestly. Now, how about killing yourself? Not with a gun or a knife, but in the Mail online this morning, Dr. Death, okay? A euthanasia advocate has sparked outrage after he announced plans to launch the world's first 3D printed suicide machine next year. Oh Christ, hang on a minute. I've lost that now. Hang on. I'm trying to make this big. It won't come bigger. Why is that not coming bigger? I'm doing that and it's like jumping. Oh, there we go. There we go. Oh, hang on. I've lost it now. I've got a picture of it here as well. Oh, this is scary. The world's first 3D printed suicide machine. Dr. Philip Nitish, 70 years old. He'll be in it soon then, won't he? Perhaps he wants to test it out himself. The doctor unveiled plans for his futuristic death machine, the Sarco. The doctor, who has been branded Dr. Death following 22 years in the field of euthanasia, developed the Sarco with engineer Alexander Bannock in the Netherlands. I think they're all killing each other, though, killing themselves over there in the Netherlands. Are they in Holland? Is there anything to live for in Holland, apart from tulip bulbs? When it's spring again, I'll bring to you tulips from Amsterdam. Unless, of course, I've killed myself, there's no one else to pick them anymore, is there? He wants to make it available worldwide. His non-for-profit organisation, Exit International, will be placing the printing programme on the internet as free open source material once they've been fully tested, which will allow the machine to be 3D printed and assembled anywhere in the world. It's a picture of it there, look. Isn't that the weirdest thing? Looks like a little car, doesn't it? So that could be the last place you want to go in. I wonder how it works. Does it say? Pro-life groups have criticised it, of course. Well, yeah, you can understand that. Let's have a look there. It doesn't say how it works. He says the Sarco offers a peaceful and I would even say an elegant death. Users must complete an online mental questionnaire. Well, none of us would pass that, would we? Eh? You've got to be mad to watch this programme. I'm mad to sit here and do it. Yeah. Users must complete an online mental questionnaire to establish their mental competency. Do you think I'd pass that? In order to get the 4-digit access code for the capsule. Once inside, they can start the machine with the click of a button, voice activation, or by a series of blinks for paralysed patients. Now, what did I just say? Can anyone translate that? I'll do it again. What did I just say? No, you've got no idea, have you? So I don't know how well the machine will cope with that. Liquid nitrogen then fills the capsule after the user activates the machine, causing a peaceful death within minutes as oxygen drops. While the... Oh, I don't know about that. Wouldn't you choke to death? Wouldn't it be a bit like that? While the base is reusable, the pod in which the person ends their life can be used as a biodegradable coffin. Sarco does not use any restricted drugs or require any special expertise, such as the insertion of a needle. Gosh. Anyone who can pass the entry test can enter the machine and legally end their own life. It describes the experience as relatively painless, comparing it to an airline cabin depressurising. Gosh. Available early 2018 and ready for rigorous testing. Who's going to test that? How does that work? How does that work to test something like... I mean, you only test it once, wouldn't you? Let's see if this works. Then you're dead. What a strange thing. The plans will be available to everyone, which means that anyone with the funds to access a 3D printer or purchase ones themselves will be able to print the machine. So there we are. I don't know what you think about that. Is that a good way to go or not? It's all very worrying, really, isn't it? It's very worrying. Let's go back to some more of your messages, see if you're chatting away to me this morning. It would be very handy if I could see them. Of course, I've closed that down now, haven't I? You silly old fool, Christopher. Let's see if I can go back to those. Oh, there we go. Good morning to Alan Russell. Good morning, Alan. You're a bit quiet recently, Alan. I hardly seen you on here. Everything all right, sir? Haven't been to the karaoke or chatting on here or anything. You're very quiet at the moment. And Tracy is there. As Tracy's she's got to go and cut some hair now. Good. Now I don't seem to have had any messages now since I went to the news stories, which means I can't see them. How do I get those back? Just stay there a minute. Let's see if I can pull those back somehow. Am I excited about the upcoming royal wedding? Chris says. No. I'm a big fan of the royals, but that doesn't really do it for me, if I'm honest, Chris. Not really bothered at all about a royal wedding. Probably watch a bit of it on the telly, but just to be honest, a normal day to me. You know, good luck to them. You know, I wouldn't want to wish them bad luck or anything like that. But yeah, so royal wedding, yeah, I mean, it'll happen and that'll be it. All right, now I'm just trying to see if I can get those. Maybe there are no more messages. Can anyone see, is there any messages in between Tracy Clifford, got to go next, client is here, love you, and Alan Diamond, good morning. Is there any messages between those two? Or sorry, between the messages, yeah, I don't know. Thank you, Alan, I'll see you soon. All right, okay, we'll do today's birthdays, boys and girls, and then we will disappear from here, all right? So let me just bring those up on here. Where's our little birthdays? Events and birthdays. Here we go. Here come today's birthdays. And happy birthday this morning to... Oh, it's only 3. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Happy birthday today to Cheryl Rosemary Jacobs. Happy birthday this morning, Cheryl. To Didier Dubois. Happy birthday to you, sir. Robert Bartlett. Happy birthday to Robert. I've got no ages. Oh, yeah, I've got some ages there. Sean McCarthy. Good morning, Sean. Happy birthday to you. Dirk Ramsey is today 38 years old. That's a good age, that is, Dirk. I was very happy at 38. My favourite age period was between 32 and 47. So you're bang in the middle of that. Happy birthday to you, Dirk. And also this morning, happy birthday to... Oh, now it says Hayley and Leigh there. Is it both your birthdays or just yours, Hayley? Because now I'm not sure. And it's very, very confusing, dear. So I will say happy birthday to... Now, that you see, that's the problem with having a joint Facebook. Which birthday is it? Or is it both at the same time? I'll do you both. Not like that, you know. Anyway, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Cheryl, Didier, Robert, Sean, Dirk, Hayley and Leigh. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, boys and girls. There we are. And that's it for the show today. Thank you very, very much for joining me from the chair. I must go and... what's the time now? Good God, it's 20 to... How long have we been talking then? I was only going to come on for half an hour. Oh, 40, nearly an hour. Gosh, I didn't expect that this morning. Yes, I've got to go and get myself ready now because I've got to go and pick up my mate, I think at 1 o'clock. Need to have a shower, have something to eat, and of course, a very important, another cup of tea. And I'll see you again very soon. Have a lovely day. Thanks for watching and listening. Cheerio now.